let's discuss rational equation and inequalities. The learning competencies for this topic are distinguish rational function, equation, and rational inequalities, and solve rational equation and inequalities. So let's define first rational expression. So when we say rational expression, it is a mathematical expression that is expressed as the quotient of the two polynomials. So take note, we are dealing with polynomials. Okay, so when we say polynomials, from the word itself, poly means many, nomials means terms. Okay, so expected that there are more than 2 terms or 3 terms ang topic na ito. Okay, so example for rational expression are this. Okay, ayan, so that is for rational expression, the quotient of 2 polynomials. So meaning it is in fraction form. So expected that when we say in fraction form, diba, if we try to go back in our elementary days, if we try to add, subtract fractions with similar, all we need to do is to add or subtract only the numerator, while if there is a similar denominator, yung gagawin lang natin is hahanapan mo natin ng LCD, wherein this time it is applicable in this topic in terms of finding the LCD. Okay, now what is rational equation? Rational equation, it is an equation involving rational expressions. Okay, so that's why na-introduce ko yung rational expression kasi ang itong rational equation, it is dealing with the rational expression. So in other words, not only one rational expression, but we can limit this time into 2 rational expression upang hindi kayo mahihirapan in solving in finding the value of our variable. Okay, take note, we are finding the value of the variable, so that's why we have rational equation. So what is the equivalent value of the variable? So example we have here, ayan, so those are the example of rational equation. Now, what is rational inequalities? Rational inequalities, it is a nonlinear inequality involving rational expressions. So in other words, since a rational equation is finding the equivalent, equal, or the whatever value of the variable, while in inequalities, it is dealing with inequality symbol. So hanapin natin ang value. So this is more than one answer, or maybe the answer is in interval form or in range form. So yan, so we have the value of x is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, greater than or less than. So that's it for the rational inequalities, or inequality rather. So we have here the example. While when we say rational function, it is a function of the form f of x is equal to h of x over g of x, where h of x and g of x are polynomial functions and g of x is not equal to 0 function. Why? Bakit hindi pwede magiging 0 yung ating denominator? Kasi magiging undefined siya. Okay, so meaning, hindi tayo makaproceed sa ating process in finding or in solving the rational function if magiging undefined siya. So example here, ayan. So this time, let's start with rational equation to be followed by inequalities. Proceed now to the rational equation. So this time, we are going to solve now in terms of rational equation. For the rational equation of an equation containing at least one fraction whose numerator and denominator are polynomials, so in here, a combination of different rational expressions. So, maybe mahirap talaga siya. Yan. So, example here. So, kung mapapansin natin, we are having an equal symbol since we are finding the value of our variable. Equivalent value of our variable. Okay? So, dito na yun papasok yung finding the value of your x if there is value. If walang value, so wala na tayong magagawa dyan dahil x mo na yan. Charot lang. Sige. So, the facts for the rational equations are here. So, we can have improper fraction, improper rational expression or same usual as the fraction. So, when you say improper, meaning the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. Okay? While proper, and that's for proper rather. For improper is the greater than yung degree ng numerator than sa degree ng denominator. Okay? Now, there are steps in finding or in solving a rational equation. First is, we really need to find the LCD. Now, what is LCD? LCD is the least common denominator, meaning pinaka-least na lahat ng mga denominator ay common sa kanila. Okay? So, in the given equation. Then, after that, multiplied our LCD to our each term, or each expression, or rational expression. Then, after that, simplified. So, dito yung papasok yung dapat yung sagot natin is simplified form. Then, if you want to check your answer, all you need to do is to substitute only to the original expression. Para if ever na mag-equal siya, meaning your answer is correct. So we have here the example. Solve for x if we have x over 5 minus 1/4 is equal to x over 2. So yung gagawin lang natin is that hanapin mo natin yung LCD ng ating denominators. We have 5, 4, and 2. Ano ba magiging LCD ng ating denominators? So, our LCD now is 20. So, yung gagawin lang natin is atin lang siyang i-multiply sa ating each expression. So, we have 20 times x over 5 minus 20 times 1/4 is equal to 20 x over 2. Bakit mag-40 talaga ito? So, 1/4. Then, multiply. So, we have 20x over 5 minus 20 over 4 is equal to 20x over 2. Okay? Next step is, let's simplify first. So, we can divide 20 and 20 divided by 5, right? We can also divide 20 divided by 4 and 20 divided by 2. So, yung magiging result na lang natin is that this is 4x minus, diba, 20 divided by 5 is 4. Kaya 4, copy the variable x minus 20 divided by 4 is 5 is equal to 20 divided by 2 is 10. Copy variable x. Then, in order for us na ma-identify natin yung ating variable, we will separate the variable and the coefficient. So, since nasa right side ko ang ating coefficient, ang ating variable, so that's why ilipat natin siya sa ating left side, and then yung coefficient naman natin na nasa left side, ilipat natin siya sa ating right side.
So, ang magiging result natin ngayon is magiging 4x minus 10x is equal to positive 5. Now, bakit nagiging negative 10 ito? Diba? As what you have learned in your junior high school, na pinatatawag tayong transpose, pero there is no such word na transpose. Rather, it is property of equality. Okay? So, then after that, let's simplify or evaluate. So, we have 4x minus 10x. The rule of integer stated that unlike sign, you subtract, copy the sign of the larger number, then you get the sum. So therefore, since this is unlike sign, all we need to do is to subtract. So we have 4 minus 10, we got 6x. Copy the sign of the larger number. Since 10 is the larger number, that's why we have negative 6x is equal to 5. Okay? Divided by, since para makuha natin yung value ng ating variable x, divide by 6 both sides. Divided by 6 both sides divided by negative 6 rather, both sides. Cancel negative 6. That's why we arrive the answer, which is negative 5 over 6. Ayan. So, the value of our variable x in this example is negative 5 over 6.
Okay? So that's why we come up with this solution. Alright. So that's why the answer is x is equal to negative 5 over 6. Okay, let's proceed now to another example. But before we proceed, let's try to observe first if we try to check if our answer is correct. So, yung gagawin lang natin is substitute sa ating general or sa ating equation, whatever the value of our variable. So, ayan. So, kung mapapansin natin, equal yung result, meaning negative 5 over 6 is the value of our variable x. Okay?
Ayan, so let's try to solve another example. If we have solve for the value of x, we have 3 is over x plus 3 plus 4 over x minus 2 is equal to 2 over x plus 3. Okay? So, yung first step natin gagawin sa hanapin mo natin ng LCD ng tatlong denominator. So, then, observe if merong magkapareho. So, kung mapapansin natin, same lang yung ating denominator na x plus 3 tsaka x plus 3. Then, we have x minus 2. So, in other words, our LCD now is x plus 3 x minus 2. Then, after finding the LCD, we will multiply this one sa bawat rational expressions meron tayo. Okay? So, we have 3 over x plus 3 plus x plus 3 x minus 2 times 4 x minus 2 is equal to x plus 3 x minus 2 times 2 over x plus 3. Yan. So, don't worry kung if mag-ask kayo saan ito nakuha. So, yung ginawa lang natin, yung LCD natin, i-multiply natin siya sa bawat rational expression. Kaya, bawat rational expressions. Okay? Then, yung next step na gagawin is cancel natin yung mga magkapareho. So, we can cancel this. We can also cancel this. Cancel and cancel. Then, copy kung ano lang yung maiwan. So, we have 3 x minus 2 plus 4 x plus 3 is equal to 2x minus 2. Okay? Then, yung next step natin is that distribute natin ang 3, 4, and 2. So, magiging 3x minus 6 plus 4x plus 12 is equal to 2x minus 4. Ayan. So, I think we're down to the last two steps. Then, after that, kung mapapansin ninyo, may constant na nasa left, then may constant na nasa right. At the same time, may variable na nasa left, may variable na nasa right. Okay, yung next natin gagawin is that ihiwalay muna natin yung ating variable, ilagay natin siya sa left, at lahat ng constant ilagay sa right. Okay? So, since may variable dito, atin siyang ilipat. So, we have 3x plus 4x minus 2x. So, yung ginawa lang natin is disarrange lang natin siya. Yung 2x lang ating ilipat sa kabila is equal to yung 6 and 12 ilipat natin sa left. So, we have negative 4 plus 6 plus 12. Okay? Then, next step to do is there's negative 12. Kasi from positive, lipat din siya nagiging negative. Okay? Then, combine like terms. So, we have 7x minus 2x. So, we have 5x is equal to negative 4 plus 6. We have positive 2. Positive 2 minus 12. So, we have negative 10. Divided by 5, both sides. So, our value of the variable x now is x is equal to negative 2. Ayan.
So, let's find out if our answer is correct. Ayan. So, that's it. So, we have x is equal to negative 2. Okay?